I'm proud to say, dealing with battling for custody of my children when they were younger, dealing with the system, uh, fighting against their mom. It was an uphill battle. It really tested my faith and God, my faith in myself, uh, faith in humanity. So, pretty rough time. Was in a rough marriage. Money was tight. Was used to having money. Then I took the grievance pay on my job and thought that was gonna last a lot longer than it really was. So money was tight. Didn't have a whole lot of support. So there was a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress that built, thinking I had no way out, no help, no means to an end to provide. So that was my first time. I'll say it, my first time.
So, when I was younger, maybe around 8 or 9, my father, who I've probably seen a handful of times, came to me with a piece of paper and asked me to sign it. And he told me that my mother chose not to sign it. And I thought to myself, well, if my mother chose not to sign it, it's probably a reason why I should. And I hesitated, and he says, well, I'm just sick of them taking my money every month. I'm sorry, every year. And so if you sign this, they won't take it anymore. Now, what I then learned was what he wanted me to sign was paperwork that stated that I wasn't his.
I think the first time I battled anxiety and depression was when I think I lost my uncle. His name was Nathan Hobbs, and he was a great role model in my life coming up as a kid. I didn't have a lot of father figures in my life, so he was one of those people that stepped up and took me under his wing and just kind of guided me, through life when I was lost, pretty much. So losing him was probably the biggest blow because I looked at him like he was more than just an uncle. He was my brother, pretty much my father at that time. And it kind of hit me kind of heavy because it was very unexpected. So that was one of those times that, it kind of hit, because you never really know when it's going to come up, when it's going to happen. And that was just one of those times where it was kind of like a smack in the face.
I was about 11 years old, and we had just moved, and I was told that when I was diagnosed with my eye condition that it wouldn't start to have a major effect to as far as blindness until I was older. But unpredictably so was not true. And I went from teacher's pet to class clown because there was nothing to focus on. I can't see the chalkboard. I can't produce what I know that's in my mind to paper or translate what's on the paper to my mind. It's like, man, this is done. This is over. This is it. I found every other way to have an upside in every other thing that I've been through. But this, I couldn't see a way up or a way out. It wasn't Darren.
Think of that moment. That moment when your life changed forever. That moment when you were blindsided. That moment when your entire world felt like it just shattered into a million pieces. Think of that moment, because that moment connects us. That moment may be the very thing that makes us all human. No matter how fast the world is moving around us, no matter how much drama and chaos exist in the world, that moment is what we have. And it feels lonely sometimes. Makes you angry and frustrated, feeling like you have no control over your own life and your own future. That moment can bring depression and anxiety that you've never felt. Like there's no way out. But now our children have to face those same battles. And it's painful. It's hard. But there's something amazing residing, waiting to burst from inside of you. Because there's so much beauty to behold in the world. Just think, there's so much to learn from the simplicities of life. The wonder, the hope, the curiosity, peace, joy. It is ours to behold. So I say we behold it together.
I am strong.
I am where God wants me to be.
I am enough.
And I am a believer.
What about the impact? What about the amount of lives that you can forever change? Because you were born, the world has the opportunity to never be the same.